Hello ladies, welcome to our next video, this one on third declension nouns. So for those of you in Latin 2 this year, this is the first real new piece of information that we're doing this year. So third declension nouns function just the way nouns always function. It's just a new set of endings, okay? So some general information about the third declension. The genders of the nouns can be masculine, feminine, or neuter. You always know what declension a noun is in from its genitive form. So a first declension noun has an AE in its genitive. A second declension has a long I in its genitive. And the third declension has a short IS in its genitive. Now, how you get the noun base is particularly important for third declension nouns. You get the noun base by removing the ending from the genitive form. And this is important because, as you'll see on the next slide, the nominative form of third declension nouns, nominative singular, can be wildly variant. And because of that, you need to have some uniform form. Sounds awkward, but I'm standing by what I said. A unifying form from which you can decline the rest of the noun. Okay, so too many options for the nominative singular, so we don't give you any possibility here. We just give you a blank. You will notice that the masculine and feminine decline one way, and the neuter has a slightly different declension. So let's review these endings. Masculine, feminine, the endings are blank, is, e, m, ace, ibis, ace, ibis. Neuter is going to be slightly different, first and foremost because there's going to be a blank in the accusative because of my favorite and yours, the neuter law, that says that an accusative and nominative ending will be the same for all neuter nouns. So, neuter third declension, blank, is, e, blank, ibis, ibis. And of course, how we translate the nouns in the declension will remain the same because nominatives, genitives, datives, accusative, ablatives still function the same way, even though it's a different declension. Okay, so our first example is rex, regus. It is a masculine third declension noun, which we can tell because it has an is as its genitive ending. You get the noun base by removing that is, and that's super important because it's reg onto which you're going to add the rest of the endings of the third declension, not rex. Okay, so noun base is reg. We can see the nominative and vocative, for that matter, as rex, but then we get that noun base, and onto that we're going to add the rest of our endings. Rex, regus, regi, regum, rege, reges, regum, regibus, reges, regibus. Now, any declension adjective can describe any declension noun. So you really have to get out of your head that the endings match, because in this case they are most certainly not going to. If we look at the example res, regus, masculine, and then the adjective clarus, clara, clarum, we are going to decline rex, regus as a third declension, of course, because it is a third declension. Rex, regus, regi, regum, rege, rex. But then we're going to decline the masculine adjective in the second declension because this is a first, second declension adjective. So rex, clarus, regus, clari, regi, claro, regum, clarum, rege, claro, rex, clare. Vocative. Oh, famous king. Reges clari, regum clarorum, regibus claris, reges claros, regibus claris, reges clari. Now, I'm giving you an example of each gender, simply so that you can have them in your notes and you can go back to refer to them. The noun virtus, virtutus is feminine. Again, you need to get that noun base so that you know what form you're going to add the endings to. So our noun base is, why don't you take a second and write that down. Virtute. Good. So, virtus, virtutis, virtuti, virtutum, virtuta, virtutes, virtutum, virtutibus, virtutes, virtutibus. Again, we've got that blank is, ace, ibis, ace, ibis. It's going to decline exactly the way you expect. And again, if you want to talk about great virtue, this is a feminine noun, therefore we're going to use the feminine form of the adjective, virtus magna, in all of its different forms. Why don't I give you a second to write down this chart. Okay, our last example is going to be corpus corporis, a body, which is neuter. And again, in this case, you can see exactly how important it is to get your noun base from your genitive form. So, corpus, but corporis, corpore. Remember that your accusative is going to be the same as your nominative because this is neuter. Corpus, corporis, corpore, corpus, corpora, corpora, corporum, corporibus, corpora, corporibus. And again, if you want to talk about a healthy body, you can do that using our second declension neuter endings for this neuter adjective. Corpus sanum, corpora sani, corpore sano, corpus sanum, corpora sano, corpora sana, corporum sanorum, corporibus sanis, corpora sana, corporibus sanis. Now, I have a little assignment for you guys to do. I want you to do it right now before you come into class tomorrow. I would like for you to get the noun base for the following third declension nouns. Carmen, carminis, civitas, civitatis, homo, hominis, mos, moris, pax, pacus, tempus, temporis, virgo, virginus. So, write down the noun base for each one of these nouns. And I would also like for you guys to get a little bit of practice doing the noun-adjective agreement by matching these adjectives to these nouns. So, labore, new, tempora, many, morum, ancient, carmony, beautiful, and pax, perpetual. All right, ladies, I will see you in class tomorrow. Good luck working on the noun bases and the noun-adjective agreement, and I hope you have a great night.